Hello. Welcome guys back to the channel. Maverick here with episode 7 of Tower of God. So, last episode is more of a world building episode, I guess you could say, even though we did have a little bit of the drama, the uneasiness between Bam and Rachel and the mystery surrounding these two. But I'm assuming we're gonna get there when we get there. For now, we learn a little bit more about the world, we learn about the 5 positions, we learn about how battle is actually done within a tower, within this world. Each character has their own position as well, so on and so forth, right? And many thanks to you guys for giving me a lot of information that wasn't actually mentioned within the anime. We ended with 2 princesses. Well, I guess one fake and one real, Anak and Indorshi, duking it out with each other, right? And, well, I gotta say, 7 episodes in, 6 episodes in, I think the perception of princesses in this world is not that high, right? I don't think most people are too keen about this entire system, but we shall see. So anyways, let's get right to it. Alright, skip the opening as usual. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh. The first man to climb the tower is Jihad. Alright. Yeah. Like. Alright. So is it basically the king's harem, in a way? Right, and this is why Anak was hunted down, right? The original Anak. Huh. So the power granted to them can actually be inherited? Hmm. Alright, she's using Shinsu, I guess. Hmm. Oh. Is she going to actually going to lose due to her high heels again? What? Why did they? Okay. Did they take an arrow to the knee? Mm. Alright, that's pretty cute. Alright. Shinsu manipulation. So it needs to be a bit stronger. Boom. Oof. This one's probably strong, right? One hand. This girl. Man, you two are really. Though he's not exactly weak, though. This guy is like really jealous of Bam, isn't he? They're passionate, let's say. Two more. I never thought Hats would actually be a scout, right? Last episode, I was so certain he was a fisherman. He's like, this guy's hopeless. But but it's okay anyways. So is Kieran going to come? Yeah. Please. Yeah, it's not friendship. It's actually a deal. It's a trade. So, I guess with this, Indoshi. So, is Indoshi actually a tsundere in a sense? Ooh, doesn't she like chicken pie? Ta-da! Um, hey, you acted pretty good, Hats. Crude. You're getting quite dirty, girl. Man, they're certainly all getting along with each other. Shell Light. That's her current alias. Maybe concentrate more on your own training, worrying about others. Do you want to climb the tower? Hmm?
これは何ですか、総試験監督。
ポジション合同テストの計画書だが。
本気ですか？このテストが鬼ごっこというのは。
大マジのマジよ。
何のようだクオント。
何って詫びしに来たんだよ。
詫び？
俺が担当してた選別者3人を。
Yeah, I was like, why are they actually
俺が仕切ってやる。
doing this together now? Aren't they from two different groups?
合同テストの試験官をやってやるっつってんだよ。
総試験監督様。
ナイスアイデアだろ。
試験官一の単細胞が合同テストを仕切るだと。嫌な予感しかしない。今回の合同テストは鬼ごっこ。合格者を除く計28名で行います。
Hmm?
せいぜい頑張れよ、亀とトカゲども。
なんかすっげえ腹立つな。
Wait, the rest of them haven't passed yet?
テストは AB チームに分かれて行います。活躍状況によって個人別に採点を行い、ポイントに反映させていただきます。
On opposite teams?
夜は B チームかよ。
Oh, wait.
バラバ
Oh,
ラ。
same team, same team. Never mind.
それでチーム対抗で鬼ごっこでもするわけ？
いや違う。
Kuhn is certainly perspective. Perceptive.
一人は我々が用意した鬼。もう一人はチームの釣り師の代表1名。それぞれこのバッジをつけてもらう。窓の外にドーム状の建物が見えるな。あそこがテスト会場だ。
でか
皆さんが勝つにはチームの鬼をゴールまで逃がすか、我々の鬼からバッジを奪うか。
Hmm.
勝った場合チーム全員に10万ポイント、我々の鬼からバッジを奪った者には20万ポイントが与えられる。
20万ポイント？
我々の鬼がバッジを奪った瞬間にチームの負けが確定する。
我々の鬼って誰なんですか？
それは俺だ。
Ooh.
誰？驚いたか諸君。
俺らの担当官だよな、あれ。
安心しろ、手加減してやるから。
And who's the other one?
いくらなんでもランカーが鬼だなんて。
相手の使える神の水は制限されているようだし、悪くない状況だろ。
何かアイデアでもあるの？
俺をチームのリーダーにするっていうなら教えてやる。
はあ？
んだこいつ。まあいいんじゃね。どうせチームをまとめんのは東大森の仕事だ。
もったいぶらずさっさと話せ。
まずはおとりを巻こう。これは創作者の仕事だ。
頼むぞ、理論3。
おう。
にしても残念だったな。夜だよ。別のチームになっちまってさ。細かい点数は知らねえが、俺らが勝ったらおそらく。
夜は脱落。知ってるよ。
クールだな。あんなに仲良しだったのに。
Is it because of Rachel? Or because of
つうか、
the other dude? Or because he's actually leading this group?
いや、来る。あいつはランカー。しかも見るからに負けず嫌い。必ず誘いに。おいおいおい、おとり作戦とは随分つまんねえことするな。俺様の弟子さんよ。マジで来た。
What's up?
ここで時間稼ぎして鬼を逃がすか。東大森についての勉強が足りねえな。東大ってのはな、神の水を操って空中に飛ばすんだよ。だから東大森の意識が途切れりゃてめえらの目が潰れる。
What is that cube thing?
もう一人の東大森は鬼と一緒だろ。
どこだ？
一流の創作者に光は必要ない。
チェックメイト。
Please. Oof.
おとりをまいたのは俺を捕まえるためか。そんな俺がちょろく見えたか。だからあいつはダメなんです。切れて見境がなくなる。
And that's when he actually loses, right? Well, I'm glad that we're actually starting another test now. The transition was a little bit abrupt there. Anyways, see you guys after this. Alrighty, so we finally get into a next test, which is applaudable, I guess you could say. Finally getting some more action again. Although I was quite interested in the backstory as well, and I guess this episode had a nice mix of everything, right? We got some backstory, we got some funny interactions, some team building, team bonding, if you will, and then we also have the next test as well. I feel like the pacing is still a little bit off for me. I'm not really sure why. It's just, I don't know, it's just a sort of it just doesn't completely feel right. I don't know if, and I can't really put it to words why I feel this way. I just feel like the pacing is off somehow. But alright, it's no big deal. Let's talk about the episode, right? So first of all, we got a little bit more backstory towards the princesses. So basically, this Jihad king, this Jihad dude, is building his own personal harem, right? Which, obviously, that's probably not the case, right? If he just wants to have his own personal harem, I highly doubt he would need to grant them powers as well. But, obviously, there's something there, right? There is some sort of ulterior motive, which I highly doubt we are going to learn anything of within this season, so let's just put it at that. One other thing I did observe though, which I'm not really sure if it has any significance or not, is so during this episode we do see other princesses as well, including some princesses that we haven't been introduced to yet. Now, one thing I've noticed is that all these princesses have a very similar hairstyle, right? They have long hair, and then they use ribbons to tie their hair up. With the only exception right now being Indorshi. Because Anak isn't actually a true princess, right? Her mom, who died already, actually had the same sort of hairstyle as well. And then, of course, we saw Yuri before having the hairstyle, and then during the not preview, but during that scene with the other princesses, we also see that they also had the similar sort of hairstyle. So, is there something special in regards to Indorshi? Like, is she a princess that's fallen from grace, or, I don't know, on prohibition, or something like that? I definitely feel like there's something more to her, right? Or maybe that's just her style and I'm looking too much into this. It's just that normally most princesses follow the same sort of style. Don't quite know, but anyways, that is definitely something to keep an eye out for. As for the character interactions and all, we're forming a tight little group here, right? And they're definitely getting much closer to each other than I originally expected, considering I totally went into this thinking that they are going to be enemies of life and death once they actually get into the tower. Which could still be the case here, right? Although I feel like with Bam being here, he's already pretty much viewing a lot of these, or at least half of the current party here as his friends, and he doesn't really seem like the person to fight against his friends, right? You know, Bam really is the glue to this little group they have here. He's certainly very he's well mannered, he's very polite, and he's very passionate, he's helpful and whatnot. Really brings the whole gang together, right? So we can definitely say that Bam is the glue here. While Kun, on the other hand, he just basically knows everything, right? I mean, I was already impressed by him before as someone who really uses his brains a little bit more than your average shonen protagonist or whatnot. But see, even in this episode, he showed a complete understanding in regards to characters of the princesses. Anak and Indorshi, right? Including, what to say to actually get on Indorshi's good side, and also knowing how Anak has her how you can get to her just by offering food, and in fact her favorite food as well. He's definitely done his homework, right? And even in the very ending of this, we see him, instantly know what's up with, or something's up with Rachel, something's up with Ho. He already suspects some stuff, so he's definitely on the know in regards to everything. In fact, even though the ending of this episode made it seem like the Ranker, Quant was it, had the upper hand in some way, I don't know. Somehow I feel like it's in Kuhn's control here. As for the actual test itself, I still think the positions seem a little bit arbitrary. Like they still haven't really explained much yet, particularly in regards to Light Tower. I still have no idea what the hell that is. So sure, I can kind of get that they're supposed to be the eyes of the team, right? And they're supposed to have all the information and make the best decision. The commander, if you will, the commander on the scene. Where does that tower come from? Do they have access to it once they go into the tower, etc., etc.? Still don't know here. And I do hope that they kind of eventually explain a little bit more, because honestly, if you think about it, the entire they pretty much made their entire own class system, right? But does this class system really make sense? I guess we'll find out in this upcoming arc with the test itself, which is the first display of these characters within their positions. And we can definitely tell that the director is trying to Yuhan, I think is his name. Yuhan is definitely testing some things out. Otherwise, he wouldn't have a Ranker act as one of the its in this game of tag. That is seriously unfair, I would say. And I have a sneaking suspicion that the note to Ho from the night before probably was of his doing as well. He wants to test some things out, let's just say. And I would venture a guess and say it's mostly related to Bam. Rachel, still being herself, not really much to say there. We know that she's being very frugal about things, right? So only eating apples that are on the cheap because they are sort of rotten, sort of getting bad, right? But once again, probably just leave her for now. There's really not much information for me to continue on with my theories or guesses as to her identity or what she actually wants to do. Now, one thing I would like to mention is it was actually revealed in the last episode, but I didn't particularly pay notice to it, right? And that is Bam's name. So we can see on the scout list of Shibusu and Hats that his full name is actually 25th Bam, right? And here I'd like to point something out, and this is actually something that's been puzzling me from the very beginning as well. So even though the translations and whatnot call him Bam, when they call him his name in Japanese, and indeed the kanji for his name is actually Yoru, which means night. So, and the 25th Bam, which is, I guess, the direct English translation here, putting it into Japanese and the kanji that's used there, it actually means not exactly. So, first of all, Yoru means night, right, in the kanji, and indeed they do use the kanji for night as well. So you would be easily be thinking, okay, does this mean the 25th night as a direct translation? But no, looking at the entire kanji and stuff, it actually means the night of the 25th, the night on the day of the 25th, right? So, not exactly the literal 20, like there's a subtle difference here. That's what I'm trying to say. Like 25th night would mean like maybe you count 1 2 3 4 5 and 25 nights forward, whereas the night of the 25th would mean something like May the 25th, right? So there's a little subtle difference here, and I don't know if that is somehow relevant in a way. At the very least, we know that the translation 25th Bam doesn't mean that he's like the 25th iteration of Bam, right? So we can at least throw that out the window. And I'm just assuming right now that Bam is maybe Korean for night, and so that is why there is this distinction between him being called Yoru and then still the subtitles calling him as Bam here. And again, 25th, I highly doubt it has any relation with a real world date or anything. So again, let's just put that in our back pocket for now. So that is pretty much all my observations from this episode, and well, in the next one, let's just see how this game of tag plays out, right? is Kuhn's predictions actually going to come true? So even though I do think he still has a good handle of the situation right now, Anak not being able to defeat Quanti in one hit, probably he realized that as well. I mean, even as a viewer, I would say it would be kind of funny and hilarious if Anak was able to take down a ranker in one hit, right? Then why are they rankers? So that's probably something that he already thought of. So let's see how it actually turns out in the end. So that was episode 7 of Tower of God. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.